Welcome to World Code Updates, your daily briefing on everything happening around the world. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. Headlines flash worldwide. US and Philippines launch their largest ever war games as China issues stern warnings. Beijing condemns the American military buildup in Luzon, while Chinese Coast Guard vessels confront Filipino boats near disputed waters. The South China Sea is no longer just a trade route, it's a potential flashpoint between two global powers. Here in the Philippines, the stakes are real. Filipino fishermen face daily harassment, their livelihoods at risk. The Philippine government, once balancing ties with Beijing and Washington, has now pivoted decisively toward its US ally. American forces are back in force under a mutual defense treaty that feels more urgent than ever. This partnership is Manila's answer to what it sees as an existential threat to its sovereignty. The region's focus has shifted from economic growth to military posturing. US Army convoys rumble down highways, transport planes land at upgraded airfields, and Filipino and American soldiers train side by side. Every exercise, every new base raises the temperature in this already tense region. From Manila's busy streets to the remote northern islands, the signs of this new era are everywhere. The US presence is not just symbolic, it's a tangible show of force meant to deter aggression. The world is watching as the US and the Philippines reshape Southeast Asia's strategic landscape. This is the story of a partnership tested by history, now facing a common challenge. It's about military exercises, advanced technology, and the calculations that define this critical moment. Two nations bound by history prepare for whatever comes next. The front line is here, and the future of the Indo-Pacific hangs in the balance. The stakes have never been higher. Luzon, the Philippines' heartland, is now a vast training ground for US and Filipino forces. At Fort Magsaysay, American and Filipino soldiers train together, not for show, but for real-world readiness. They run live fire drills, jungle survival courses, and complex air assault exercises, building trust and interoperability. The focus is on modern, combined arms warfare, preparing for large-scale conflict, not just counterinsurgency. Soldiers practice defending against amphibious landings, armored attacks, and air threats. The exercises are relentless, pushing both armies to adapt and innovate. This is where a treaty becomes a real, battle-ready partnership. Beyond the field, US engineers upgrade facilities, build new barracks, and improve firing ranges. Medical teams run joint humanitarian drills, preparing for crises from disasters to conflict. The US is embedding itself in the Philippine defense structure, not just visiting. This comprehensive approach signals a long-term commitment. The alliance is being forged in sweat, trust, and shared hardship. Luzon is now the strategic heart of a partnership built for the challenges ahead. The message is clear: the US is here to stay. Together, they're building a force ready for any threat. In the far north, the Batan's Islands sit closer to Taiwan than Manila, now a strategic outpost. The Bashi Channel separating Batan's from Taiwan is a vital choke point for any military movement in the region. For the first time, US soldiers train here with Filipino Marines, transforming these islands into a defensive bulwark. Patriot and Avenger missile systems are deployed, rehearsing real scenarios military planners take seriously. The goal: deny adversaries control of this critical waterway. Locals watch with mixed feelings: security, but also the risk of being on the front line. Infrastructure upgrades like airport expansions serve both military and civilian needs. Batanes' defense complicates any Chinese plans for Taiwan, forcing Beijing to rethink its strategy. The US and Philippines are creating operational dilemmas for any would-be aggressor. Batan's is now a key piece in the Indo-Pacific security puzzle. The islands are no longer just scenic, they're a front line in the new great power rivalry. The chessboard has shifted, and Batanese is at its center. The alliance is evolving, not just in numbers but in technology. US forces bring advanced systems like 3D printed drones assembled on site for real-time surveillance and targeting. Filipino troops learn to operate these drones, gaining a crucial tactical edge. The Typhoon missile system, capable of launching Tomahawk and SM-6 missiles, is now part of joint drills, extending deterrence across the region. Helicopters like the Chinook and Black Hawk practice rapid troop movements and medical evacuations vital for archipelagic defense. The strategy used the Philippines' geography to create a layered mobile defense. US training helps the Philippine military shift from internal security to credible external defense. It's not just about hardware. Doctrine, cyber defense, and intelligence sharing are all part of the package. The goal: a self-reliant, modern Philippine force, ready for 21st century threats. Technology and tactics are transforming the alliance into a true force multiplier. The future of regional security is being built here, one innovation at a time. The alliance's backbone is its joint exercises, Salaknib and Balikatan. Salaknib, meaning shield, builds core skills and trust through live-fire artillery and coordinated maneuvers. Balikatan, or shoulder-to-shoulder, is the region's largest multi-service drill, involving thousands of troops and allied observers. Exercises span the country, simulating full-spectrum conflict from Luzon to Palawan. Amphibious landings and maritime strike drills send a clear message. The alliance can defend Philippine waters. These drills are more than muscle flexing, they're deterrence in action. Public, transparent, and united, they signal readiness to any adversary. Personal bonds forged in training are the alliance's true strength. The human element, shared hardship and trust, makes this partnership resilient. Salaknib and Balikatan are the living proof of a credible united front. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, or EDCA, underpins the U.S. presence in the Philippines. Expanded in 2023, EDCA grants U.S. forces access to 9 key bases, still Philippine-owned but now hubs for joint operations. 4 new sites, including bases in Cagayan and Palawan, extend reach toward Taiwan and the South China Sea. Construction is booming, new barracks, warehouses, and runways for heavy transport planes. Fuel and munition storage ensures rapid response in crisis, no need to ship supplies across the Pacific. This network gives the alliance operational flexibility and resilience. For the Philippines, it's a strategic move to bolster defense with U.S. support. For the U.S., it's a cornerstone of Indo-Pacific strategy, complicating adversary planning. EDCA sites are more than infrastructure, they're a physical pledge of mutual defense. The alliance is now anchored in concrete, steel, and shared resolve. These bases are the backbone of a new security architecture. The commitment is deeper and more enduring than ever. Together, they stand ready for any challenge. China's aggressive moves in the South China Sea have forced a strategic shift. Beijing's gray zone tactics, harassment, blockades, and water cannons threaten Philippine sovereignty. The risk of conflict over Taiwan looms, with the Philippines caught in the crossfire. The U.S.-Philippine response visible military presence, advanced systems, and joint exercises to raise the cost of aggression. The Typhoon missile system and U.S. warships send a clear warning. The strategy is deterrence, make any hostile move too costly for Beijing. The alliance insists its actions are defensive, aiming for peace and stability. In the face of growing threats, a credible military shield is now essential. Behind the scenes, infrastructure upgrades are transforming the Philippines' defense posture. U.S. investment is modernizing ports, airfields, and storage facilities, creating a resilient logistics network. Upgraded airports like Lalo and reinforced naval bases enable rapid deployment and sustained operations. Pre-positioned supplies/response times in crises, military or humanitarian. These improvements boost both defense and local economies, creating jobs and supporting commerce. Better infrastructure means stronger security and greater resilience. The alliance's strength is built on more than firepower. It's about readiness and sustainability. A secure, modern Philippines benefits both its people and the region. The alliance's goal isn't war, it's to prevent one through deterrence and diplomacy. A strong, integrated force convinces adversaries that aggression isn't worth the risk. At the same time, diplomatic channels remain open, seeking stability and dialogue with China. The military buildup creates leverage for negotiations, not confrontation. The U.S. and Philippines also strengthen ties with other regional partners, building a united front for a rules-based order. The future hinges on this balance, deterrence backed by diplomacy. The risks are real, but so are the stakes: sovereignty, stability, and peace. The alliance stands ready, shoulder to shoulder, for whatever comes. On Asia's new frontline, they prepare for the worst but work for lasting peace. The world watches, hoping they succeed.